Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. So today we're gonna take a look at how to heat anodize your titanium scales. So what I've got right here is Benchmade with some titanium scales. So we're gonna get these guys off and get to it. So all these screws are gonna be T6, except for the main blade screw, which is gonna be a T8. Now when I'm taking apart the Benchmades that have the Omega spring system on them, I just leave the Omega spring assembly altogether. It's a huge pain to try to get those springs back in, so what I'm doing, I just leave it as a whole assembly. And I usually want to have the blade in a released, kind of like at a 8 o'clock position, so that it's not all the way out, but it's not all the way in either. It makes it easier to pull the blade out. Now here you can see I started sanding the scale down. Now this is with 220 grit sandpaper. Then I moved on to some finer sandpaper. And started wet sanding at this point. So this is going to be 800 grit wet sanding. You can see the difference there. And then finally is going to be some 1000 grit wet sanding. And then I polished it a little bit with some polishing compound with my Dremel. So here's some TSP, just a industrial kind of cleaner. You can get it at Lowe's or Home Depot. You don't have to use that. You can use Windex or anything else. And then ferric chloride. Got to use the ferric chloride. And then I like to use a propane torch. Any kind of torch will do, but it's got to get pretty hot. And here's just a piece of a coat hanger to hang it on. You're going to want something that's not going to conduct a whole lot of heat, because this thing is going to get fairly hot. So just going to use the torch here to heat it up. And you want to kind of get over it kind of even, depending on what you want. If you just want to put some stripes in it, it's really going to decide what it's going to look like. So you want to try to get it to this bronze color here. If you go too much beyond this bronze color, then you're going to start getting different colors. Bronze is going to get you closer to the blue and purples. You can see on the scales that I went a little bit past the bronze, so I ended up getting some, light blues and things like that. So it's going to kind of depend. As you put it in this ferric chloride, I'm going to kind of shake it. And you'll see whenever it comes out that it's kind of got these orangey kind of seismic lines on it. And those are where it enters the ferric chloride and colors it that orangey kind of color that you'll see on, a lot of heat anodized scales. So if you don't want those, then you wouldn't shake it putting in, maybe just try to dunk it in there as quickly as possible. Then you're going to dip it in your Windex or TSP in my case to stop the etching process. Get it kind of cooled down too, because it's fairly hot. And here you can kind of see the final product, right? So got some blues in there, this kind of orangey seismic lines. Now when we're going to put it back together, I like to take the phosphor bronze washers, just wet sand those on some 800 or 1000 grit, kind of get them smooth. That'll help out with the action. You can see the difference there. One was kind of dirty and then a lot better off after being sanded. Now we're just going to reassemble this guy. Everybody does it their own way, I guess. I like to put the a meg assembly in there, and then push the female screw end through the back, and then I use a screwdriver here to kind of line everything up so we can get that casing up in there. Then once you do, it makes things a whole lot easier to push through that piece. Alright, so we're just gonna put it back together, get the other side in, get these screws in there. You'll see too when we get the clip on, I didn't record the process, but I sanded down the pocket clip and then just used the same torch to kind of blue it. You just warm it up a little bit with the torch and it'll kind of get a blue hue to it. And so I think it kind of matches the overall aesthetic of the knife pretty well. But like I said, easy process, doesn't really cost a whole lot. Most expensive item is going to be the ferric chloride, which I think might be $20 or $25 on Amazon. Really like the way this thing turned out. It's got a lot of variation in the color. Really, I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite knives to begin with, but with the new color that's on the scales as opposed to the just standard titanium, gives it a lot of character. So, and real easy to do, and you can do it at home. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you on the next one, and like and subscribe if you don't mind. Appreciate you all, and have a great day.